Hello, welcome to Fly Dressing Made Easy. My name's Trevor Jones, and the fly that we're going to tie is a Straggle Spider. It's an Olive Straggle Spider. It's my own pattern, which I've found works particularly well early season, and especially when there's small hatches of olives coming off. So without any further chat, really, as you can see, I've got a hook already in the vise. It's a Partridge Wet Fly Supreme size 10, size 12, and onto that we're going to attach some thread, which in this instance happens to be exactly what I'm looking for shade wise. It's a thread from Semperfli called Nano Silk, and it's a yellow thread, but because of its kind of translucent properties, it gives me exactly the right shade of yellowy olive, which I'm looking for this fly. And as I say, when there's olives hatching and maybe the fish are not taking off the top, this is a good standby pattern. So we've taken the thread to that position midway between the point of the hook and the barb of the hook, and now we're going to return to the starting position with touching turns, and we're going to leave this a little bit short because we are going to actually put a thorax on this, so we don't want to overcrowd the eye, and we want to make sure we've got enough room to put the hackle in without it looking ugly and masking the eye. So we're going to stop short there. Now, as the name of the fly suggests, it's a spider pattern with a slight difference because it's using a synthetic, or one of the materials is a synthetic, and it's this particular product from Semperfli called Straggle String, which has a nice UV element to it as well. Not that I think the trout notice, but maybe they do, who knows. Okay, now let's get rid of that little bit of waste. Now, the temptation with some of these synthetics is to actually use too much, which actually overpowers the fly. But what we're going to do, we're going to use it quite sparingly, and we're going to use 2 turns and tie it off. Okay. Get rid of the waste and just see if we can stroke those fibres back a little bit so they're not going to cause us too much of a problem when we put the hackle in. Okay, now the hackle is going to be a grey partridge, and there we have it. And as some of you will already know if you're watching previous videos, I do prepare the feather beforehand, and I actually snip off most of that little tuft because that should fit in there pretty well exactly, and that gets away from the need of going in there with scissors and ending up cutting something you don't want to cut. Now, as you see, I have left on the fibres both sides of the hackle. I want this a little bit heavier than some of the others, and this is a fly I use for both river and lake. So we're going to stroke the fibres back, taking the turn of hackle or wrap, whichever you want to call it. So we don't want it too heavily hackled, So we're looking at about 2 turns, 2.5 maybe. As you can see, it's quite a simple pattern to tie, but when there are olives coming off the water, it's pretty effective, particularly if the hatch is quite sparse. Okay, so we're going to build up a nice neat head, and this is one of the undoubted advantages with nano silk thread, is you do not get any build up because it's extremely strong but extremely thin as well. So there we have the whip finish almost completed. Now what I am going to do, I'm going to try and illustrate to you the UV properties on that straggle. So once I've removed this thread, I'm going to leave the camera running momentarily, and I'm going to actually try and just highlight it a little bit. I don't know whether you can see what I'm actually doing. Hopefully you did see that. I won't know that until I actually review the film. But thank you very much for watching, and enjoy the rest of your day, and please try the fly. You'll be surprised, it does work, and it's a nice addition by putting some synthetic into a traditional pattern. And I'm going to say good night to you all now, and thank you very much.